excited today because we have a special guest in our house for Swag Her Magazine's Spotlight, Business Spotlight. It is Glendora Divine. She is the founder of Divine Systems Georgia, family counseling, individual counseling. I mean, she does a wonderful service for the community, so we're going to talk about how awesome she is and how awesome her business is. So before we get started, just a little intro. Swag Her Magazine is on Instagram and Facebook. You definitely need to check them out because they do so much for showcasing the positive things people are doing in the community. I mean, we hear about all the train wrecks, we hear about all the, terrible things, but Swag Her Magazine, they always showcase the good and the people that are doing good in the community. And people think Swag Her is only about women. No. We also have, uplift the black man issue. We also, put the spotlight on men doing wonderful things in the community. So definitely check out Swag Her Magazine. And, speaking of Swag Her, we want to ask Miss Glendora, what is your Swag Her? What makes you unique and special?
I think my Swag Her is my ability to relate to other people and just be real. That's what they tell me a lot, that you're real. The way you talk, not no holds barred, just straight talk, real talk. That's what, we pretty much call it. So I think that's my Swag Her.
You gotta keep it real. Keep it
real.
real.
Basically.
Now, I was reading your bio and everything, on your fantastic website I was mentioning earlier. And so kind of give me a brief overview of, I saw your motto on there, live, don't just exist.
Exactly.
Give me an expansion of what that means to you.
So that means to me is that basically we only have one life. And with that one life, we got to live and don't get stuck in the mess of life. Don't get stuck in the negative. Expect it. And then, move on. Find your positive, because no matter what you go through, there's always going to be some type of positive in that negative. If you take the time to just calm down.
Yes, take a breath.
Calm down. Expect negative, receive it. And then see what kind of positivity that you can put on that. That's what I'm saying about living. Because when we get stuck, we stuck on the negative stuff. So let's live. We only got one life.
Exactly. I mean, you got one life to live. You might as well, what's that song like? Live your best life.
Right. Exactly. Say one life. Keep it moving.
And so, when it comes to Swag Her Magazine, how has Swag Her helped you to, enhance your marketing and get your word out there? How has, Swag Her Magazine helped you, particularly in your business?
Well, one thing it does is with the social media aspect. That's like a job on its own. And by me being affiliated with Swag Her Magazine, it's surprising to me when I'm looking on social media and there's another post of me somewhere floating. I'm like, oh, and who has done that? Swag Her Magazine for me. And so it's like I have my own media specialist working behind the scenes that all the time. So I'm focusing on counseling and mental health and behavioral health services to the community. And when I look on social media, I can also see me being effective that way too, through Swag Her Magazine.
It's good to have somebody like behind the scenes so you can focus on your business.
Exactly.
Right. And so, the first thing in my mind when I think about family counseling and individual counseling, I think of, what gives you the credentials, what gives you the qualifications to be able to tell people what to do. So it's like, do you have, your background degrees or, what gives you the qualifications to be able to do this type of work?
Definitely going to school.
Okay.
And student loans. Definitely. I'm a licensed professional counselor. So I had to get a master's degree, then take the state test, and basically be ethical and be able to follow the guidelines that have been laid out before me. So that's basically what gives me the credentials to do this, and a lot of training. So once you complete school, you continue to go through training.
Go into your office, see all the plaques on the wall, and like, okay, well, I can trust you. It's always good to see, somebody with the background training and the credentials, because it's just like, you're telling me what to do. What gives you the right?
It's not a certification. It is a license.
And so when I went on your website, I saw that you offer so many. It's like 16 centers, so many services. I mean, can you kind of expound on the services that you offer?
Okay, it's really not that many services. We really focus on individual counseling, family counseling, and couples as well. So with that being provided, we look at the different levels of mental health illnesses and behavior issues that may fall into that category. Now that's a lot of categories that we do service at that point. So going from bipolar to ADHD to oppositional defiance, obsessive compulsive disorder, anger management, and one of my specialties is parenting.
Okay. And so with all these services, is it just you, or do you have a team? I hope you have a team of people to help you out with all of this.
Well, I do. I have a team of therapists, and I also empower other women. And really, I would empower men too. We have more men in the field, but we have a lot of women in our field. And so what we do at our office is open up our space to other women or men, but most likely it has been women for us at this point, who are trying to start off in their own business. Okay. So we provide them with the structure, the facility, and the opportunity to start building their caseloads. We also provide the service of helping them establish their business by with billing services and appointment scheduling. So we really try and help them get their caseload up so they can really identify themselves in the community as an independent counseling agency as well. So instead of pushing them away because we are a counseling agency, we actually open up the door and say, come on, let me help you build and grow like me.
That's wonderful, because like some people just starting out, they need that guidance.
Yeah, I needed it, so I'm trying to be what I need.
Right. Pay it forward, like they say. And so I saw on your website that you opened up in March 2011, is that correct?
Yes.
So when it comes to the trends of mental health and family counseling, would you say that we've gotten better, stayed the same, or what's kind of the trends from 2011 till now that you've seen in your field?
It all depends on what part you're asking about. If you're talking about like far as our children,
particularly like family counseling.
Family counseling, yes. We have not gotten better. Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, and it saddens me because a lot of our issues that people will bring their children to counseling for, and they will be already self-diagnosed as mental illnesses, and it really is a behavior issue. And I feel like we're not leaving our legacy, and that's a problem. And I believe that we even understand what our legacy is. And so with that being said, that's why I wrote the book, to try and say, you know what, this is going to be a behavior therapy book that parents can do at home. And I also have parenting classes online. And I'm going to start the open enrollment in November 1st for the next session, so that'll be November 1st. And it really is just a parenting class on how to try and get your children to actually do what you say. The first time, it still happens.
It's a struggle, but it's possible.
How to put more energy into you and what you have set out for them instead of putting more energy into cell phones and video games. It can happen. But in order for that to happen, I always tell the parents, if you want your child to change, then you have to be willing to change yourself. And that's something that we kind of don't look at as parents. We look at our children and we say, oh, you have got so big, or you're going to high school, or your feet are so big, and you're so tall. And the only thing that we really look at as ourselves as parents is that our waistline has gotten big, and I can't take it no more.
Like, you got me pregnant, and this is what happened.
And so the reality of it is, as a parent, we're growing as well as those children are growing. We're growing mentally, we're growing emotionally, we're growing spiritually. All these things are changing within us. And so as we expect our children to change their behavior, we have to look at ourselves and say, when and what and how can I change something? So that's what my products are really geared for. It's like behavior therapy for the parent themselves, that they can actually do at home and actually leave a legacy that they're proud of right now.
So you brought up your book, so definitely let's showcase the leaving legacies, breaking the disconnect between parents and millennials. It's like, when you were talking about the cell phones and stuff, like you got a cell phone right on the front of the book.
Yeah, because actually it became the village that's raising our children instead of the neighbors, but like it used to be in our day, My birthday tomorrow, so.
Early birthday, yes. Because, sometimes when you go into a room of teens, it's like they're not talking to each other. They just got their face in the phone. And it's like, the social aspect of it is completely out the window.
I just read an article that some parents are suing Fortnite.
Oh, God, they're suing them. It's like, we're not going to even go there because, I know some of my stepson is really into Fortnite.
Yeah, so they're suing them. And they said they made that game just as addictive as cocaine.
Oh, wow.
And I say that's just bad parenting.
Like they need your services. Now I saw like particularly a teen event up on your Facebook. Is that it was like two kids sitting together and it was kind of like an event that you're doing?
Well, that's my next class that I was creating, and this is how to talk to your child about sex. Okay. And so I'm also a sex offender specialist, and I mean I work with the perpetrators and the victims, but I only work with 18-year-olds and down. Okay. So I only work with juveniles. And the reason that I became certified in that and started working with children like that is because Henry County, where my business is located, they don't play. Mm-hmm. And a lot of children in my color was coming into my office, and they was literally labeled as a child molester. And they are 12, 11, 15, 16. And, not just, my color, just it was really an abundance of children coming in being actually labeled with assault and sexual battery or as a child molester based on what their behavior was. And then so what I did was created a program that was approved by the courts in Henry County and several other counties around us. And I would take the children through that. And at the end of the program, the last 8 weeks, I actually make the children go home and do work with the parent. And so the parent can get an idea of what they have learned in this program, as well as how to actually interact with them based on their knowledge about sex at this point. And so, it's just such a big problem. And it starts really with middle school. It starts to show itself in elementary and then really flourish in middle school. So if we get into the real conversation with our children, besides don't do it, besides cover it up, besides you can't, it would really help them if they understood the other part of, in Georgia, the state that we're in, 8 years old, 8 years old, that's the law. You can go to jail at 8 years old. Man. And based on what you did. And they don't play. And a lot of parents don't even understand, like, the legal age in Georgia to consent to sex is 16. But in order to videotape, it's 18. So which is weird.
Right.
But, still, it's like when you talk to these children, this is all they are around in public school, in private school. They're around children who don't have parents that actually supervise them. So a lot of things happen. And the first thing the children do is go and say, well, I didn't have no one to talk to.
Mm-hmm. Like sometimes, the parents let the teachers raise their children or whatnot, and that's not happening. That's not a good idea.
Or they even get the sex ed class in school, and then again, they don't follow up at home. Mm-hmm. You assign a permission slip for them to have this course, to be attend this class, but it's really no follow up at home. So that's another reason. And our children are literally living in this phone. That's they are, and some of our parents are too. So if we don't use these things that they're interested in to help them understand the legal ramifications, then what are we really doing? Yeah. How are we living a legacy?
If an 8-year-old knew they could go to jail for it, that blows my mind right there. Yes. And so it's like when some families, they think of, counseling and getting my family in here to talk to somebody or whatever, they're afraid about the cost. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh my gosh, this is going to cost too much, insurance ain't going to cover this or whatever. How do you deal with that kind of barrier? And, are your prices affordable or, you work with them? Or how does your pricing structure work for that?
Okay, well, I take over 13 different insurances for one. Okay. And another thing about when you are using insurances, and for mental health or behavioral health services, a lot of times the insurance company will also cover family therapy. So if you have a child that is actually being seen by a therapist, you should also ask or request that you have appointments with that therapist as well, because that is a part of it's not a single person affair when you have a child that goes into therapy. It is a family affair, because whatever that child is going through, you've got to be going through something too. Mm-hmm. So that's one way, one thing about it. And then the other thing is that I do have affordable prices. I do not have a sliding scale fee, but I have affordable prices. So, and I pretty much take any form of payment. So, I am very flexible in working with people.
Okay. And my sister is kind of like in social work or whatever. And she, when I noticed she would come home and bring home the stories with her.
Okay.
Do you ever have a thing where you have to, kind of leave work at home and then, leave work at work and then come home and don't take it with you? Like, how do you deal with that?
So I am Mrs. Divine. So
yes.
as Mrs. Divine, don't bring that stuff home with me. I ain't got time.
Okay. It's for your mental health as well.
Yeah, so that's why I stay at the office. And if I have something that is stressing me based on a client, then I call another therapist.
Okay.
I call another therapist and I talk to the therapist about it. For one, ain't nobody in my house trained to handle none of that stuff, and they don't want to hear it from you. So and for me really to relax and stress free or not carry the stuff around with me. One of the things I do is sage my building.
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea.
And then another thing I do is I literally run my husband all around town, all around the United States. I try on weekend getaways. And then I am not Mrs. Divine. I can't tell you who I am though.
Well, in this interview, she is Glendora Divine. But for mental health, for real, you gotta travel. You gotta, have your oils and your bubble baths when you need to.
Exactly.
I'm a firm believer in that. Yes. And so, in all your services, everything that you do, can you describe your biggest challenge and how you overcome that?
I think my biggest challenge may be, let's think about that one.
Because I know you deal with a lot of different areas, but
yeah, I guess like one of my biggest challenges is when I am referred someone who is really into drugs, because I really do not care to work with people that is really into drugs. So that is one of my biggest challenges, and sometimes you just never know what is kind of walk through the door. And I have had families walk in at 7 people deep, and they're like, "Yeah, we're here for a so-and-so appointment, and we all are here." And I'm like, "Okay." So the first thing I gotta go through is like, I gotta get them sitting comfortably. And because apparently they decided to do an intervention and didn't tell me.
Oh gosh!
So that has happened to me like at least 3 times. And so with that, I have to literally try and hear what's really going on, make sure nothing like is going crazy and violent, and then see if the person is willing to leave and go to treatment. And the biggest challenges with that is like once they say they will. Getting the insurance to pay for it.
Yes.
So because a lot of times insurance will pay some, but it's not going to pay a lot of hundreds. And so, and that's like the biggest challenge. Like, what do you do? I don't want them to leave. They ready to commit. So now I got to scramble around trying to find other resources to try and keep this moving. So that's like really my biggest challenge.
Yeah, I don't know what I do. Like, 20 people walk in, like, we want you to counsel us. It's like, whoa, overwhelming. But, with all your training, with all your, I'm sure that you got it under control.
Yeah, that's the first thing. I take a deep breath.
And so, last but definitely not least, what is in the future for Divine Systems Georgia? Are you content where you're at now? Or what kind of future plans? Like, what's in your 3 to 5 year plan for Divine Systems Georgia?
So, our 3 to 5 year plan is really to help other counseling agencies broaden their horizons, be more productive in their business and journey, and basically we want to try and help them with the program in the inside. So we want to help them with the marketing, not so much as the marketing, we really want to help them with the billing and the appointment scheduling. We want to help them maintain the caseload that they're trying to maintain and have those clients actively show up. I stay pretty much 3 weeks booked out. And so I'm really I'm hoping to get the other therapists that has came in 3 weeks booked out as well. Mm-hmm. So, and by using the same systems that I have used and the same billing systems, then they turn around. I want the therapists to have the report so they understand how much money they made that week based on co-pays, based on individuals that came in, families that came in, that insurance is paid out. And because as a therapist, when you're doing this business by yourself, you're pretty much focusing on these clients, and you're getting kind of a array of clientele, so you really don't have time to sit back and look at the reports or create reports. So I really want to be that piece for other therapists that's coming out. So if you have any desires to really want to know how much money you're making every week, how much billing you're doing every month, call me.
Yes, and like speaking of contact and call you, you can definitely go to her website. I went to her website earlier, was very, very impressed. It's dsgeorgia.com. You know, check that out, and definitely do you have a fan page, or how can they contact you if they wanted to?
So you can go on Georgia spelled all the way out .com. You can contact us at info@dsgeorgia.com. You can also go on Facebook at the Divine Systems Georgia Facebook page. So that's DVINE Systems with an SGA, and like that page. And I try and put something uplifting and positive on there all the time. So what I try and put on there is like little quotes, and that's basically I really just try to put the quotes on there without a lot of wording from me, just so y'all can read it. And my goal is that you get it first thing in the morning before you leave your house, before you hit them streets, because I want you not to get stuck in a mess of life. I want you to get something positive, feed your mind, something positive before you actually start your day. So when somebody blow at you, it's okay. You ain't stuck on that. You keeping it moving. So
I've seen some road rage that got me very scared. So definitely, get on there before you get on the highway.
Yeah.
And where can they find or get your book? Is this online or in your office or whatnot?
I have it in the office, and it's also on Amazon.com. So it's Leaving Legacies, Breaking the Disconnect Between Parents and Millennials. Yeah. So it do have stuff in there if your child is over 18, over 19, over 21, it's still in your house. It's still something that you can do.
And so we're kind of wrapping up the interview and everything. We always want to say shout outs and stuff. You want to give a shout out to your family or your friends or any of your co-workers?
Shout out to Swag Her Magazine.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
And I want to give a shout out to Yante Divine, my husband. Thank you so much, sir. And and I thank you guys. Thank you for having me.
And so definitely you want to check out Divine Systems Georgia. This has been a Swag Her Magazine business spotlight. She's doing so much wonderfulness in the community of, do you want to give the address or,
Sure. The address is 40 Macon Street, and it's in McDonough, Georgia. That's Henry County. And the number is 678-212-5146. And you can email us at info@dsgeorgia, spelled out. Check us on Facebook at Divine Systems Georgia, like that page. And Instagram is Glendora Divine, and that's DVINE.
We're feeling all divine up in the
That's
studio.
Right.
Yes.
That's right.
So thank you for watching. Definitely we'll be putting those links in the comments underneath the video and everything like that. Shout out to Swag Her Magazine one more time, and we'll see you next time.